Hey everyone, my name is Renee. Welcome back to my channel, Created by Renee. If you're a subscriber, you may notice something a little different. Felt right, because when it comes down to it, who hasn't changed in the last 2 years? Also, it seemed apropos considering this video is going to be a little bit of a departure from my ongoing series of paper mache tutorials. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. If you're a subscriber already, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming back and sticking with me. And if you're new here, be sure to click the subscribe button and the bell button for notifications, because right now I'm working to become more consistent with this channel, but until then, it's a good idea to get the notifications so you know when I do actually upload a new video. If you just want to get to more paper mache tips and tutorials, I invite you to skip over this video, check out my existing videos, and hit the bell button for notifications, because there are some new paper mache tutorials in your immediate future. If you do stick around and you, like many of us during these winter months, are finding yourself at the mercy of the weather, then I'm about to demonstrate something that could change your life. Well, not change your life, but you know what I mean. In this particular video, I'm going to be demonstrating the steps that I took to create a studio hack that I designed to make my life easier. No cap, this is making my creative process easier, more efficient, and helping me get to the good part quicker. Interested? Well, let's go! My name is Renee, and I'm a multimedia artist. My specialty is paper mache. And over the course of working in this medium for many years, my least favorite part of the process is sanding. For me, sanding is integral to getting the finish that I prefer on my paper mache pieces. However, up until recently, the process of sanding pieces has been a whole hazmat situation for me. Because the process of sanding is so dusty and messy, it had to be done outside. I say hazmat because, of course, if I didn't want to track dust back into my studio and I didn't want to get it into my eyes, my hair, my face, I had to cover it completely. That meant goggles, a face mask, long sleeves, etc., etc. And of course, I was at the mercy of the elements. It didn't matter if there was extreme heat or cold. If there was work I needed to do, especially involving a commission, I had to deal with it. A while back, I remembered out of the blue this strange looking metal cabinet I had seen online years ago. And it suddenly occurred to me, what if I tried to make something like that for myself? So here we are. I'll be sure to include details, including the supply list, in the description, so be sure to check for that. For starters, I'm cutting some pilot holes into my plastic container that I purchased at my local big box store. I think just about any clear plastic container would work for this, as long as it's heavy enough plastic and it's large enough to serve your purpose. I just happened to luck out and find this one that's nice and heavy plastic and has a lid that has a foam seal around the inside of it to keep moisture and dust out, which would also serve the purpose that I'm going to actually use it for. You might have noticed that I didn't make the holes at the same height. And that's because I sort of thought about it for a while, and I watched how when I am sanding, I don't hold my hands at the same height. So I wanted to make it so that it's comfortable to stand at this thing for a good hour or so. And so I wanted to make it realistic where the holes are. Now I'm ready to enlarge the pilot holes. And if you notice, I started out using a craft knife, but since this is nice, heavy grade plastic, I had to go in with the cutter bit on my rotary tool. So I'm using the rotary tool, and honestly, that cutter is, it's really more melting than it is actually cutting. So, but hey, it's getting the job done. Please be sure, if you use power tools, even little lightweight ones like this one, to wear protective eyewear, maybe even a mask. And finally, we have holes. If you're getting anything out of this video, please do me a favor and go ahead and hit the like button. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. There are more videos in the works, and you might not want to miss them. Now, my holes are sanded and smooth and ready for the next step. Next, I'm going to take some of my extra strong dollar store duct tape and reinforce these holes. And because I want to be as comfortable as possible while I'm doing this work, next up is foam. I just have some foam that I salvaged from maybe some packaging, I believe. These are just, I think, 1/2 inch thick pieces of foam, and I'm gonna sort of eyeball them against the holes and then cut a plus sign into the center so that my hands can push through, but then the foam will hopefully hug my arms. Now that I have my foam cut for each hole, I'm going to go ahead and mount it to the inside of my box. And for that, I'm going to be using my SureBonder cordless glue gun, which is my favorite glue gun of all time. 10 out of 10 recommend. And I'm going to put ample glue on the inside of the box, mostly where you see I've attached the tape, and then press the foam into place, and that's it. Next, I had these heavy duty utility gloves that I purchased specifically to use in this box. And I'm using one of my tungsten lamps, which works great to make sure I can see well inside the box. Ultimately, it turned out the gloves weren't even necessary. I wanted them to be there to prevent as much dust as possible from escaping. But when it comes down to it, the box is such a game changer that I don't mind sweeping up a little bit of dust around it. So it's all good. Now, I am so thankful and grateful to have a cordless rotary tool, but my main rotary tool is a corded Dremel. So I wanted to be able to put cords through the side of the box. So what did I do? I cut another hole. I actually forgot to reinforce the hole for the cord with tape, but it worked out fine. Here's another piece of salvaged foam, and I'm just gonna put another plus sign in that foam and attach that as well. And right quick, here's a close-up of my glue gun. And now just to test and see whether this works, my corded Dremel. Okay, let's try the palm sander. I kid you not, this has been a game changer. I can sand at the drop of a hat, in the middle of the night, in a snowstorm. It doesn't matter. I can sand one little teeny piece or a whole batch of stuff. No long preparations, no suiting up. It's amazing. And I can see clearly, and I don't even have to wear my goggles. Why didn't I think of this years ago? And to clean it, I just take everything out, open it up, and dump. Based on the results of this trial, I could consider investing in a serious sanding booth down the road, but for now, this one is serving my purposes perfectly. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.
By creating an imaginary picture. Usually it's something that...
Yep, I'm getting over something. Nope, it's not the C word. Hello. My name is Renee, and welcome back to my channel, Created by Renee.